rounding out our quarterfinals here at the 2015 Alamo City Open. Nicolai Miramontes will start serving against Alex Cardona. Nicolai Miramontes starting out 2-0 against Alex Cardona. Alex Cardona was the champion last year at the 2014 Alamo City Open, so he is here defending his title this year again. Alex Cardona is currently #1 on the World Racquetball Tour. If he ends the season as #1, he will be the 2015 Player of the Year. We do have a special voting open to fans. If you go to bit.ly/WRT vote, you can vote for Rookie of the Year, Most Improved Player, and Sportsmanship Award, plus a special fan favorite where you can enter the name of any WRT player who is your favorite. They will only be considered for the WRT Men's Professional. Alex Cardona coming back aggressively now, opening up game 1. Miramontes got the first 2 points, but Cardona with 4 in a row. Miramontes diving all over the court. He's definitely known for his diving. We saw him diving incredibly last weekend in Monterrey. Bounces. Nicolai Miramontes has made it to the last 2 quarterfinals at our last 2 events, including the Kitsap Splat and the San Diego Open. And he's back now in the quarterfinals of the Alamo City Open. And Alex Cardona currently has 9 titles with the WRT. He is tied for most titles ever with Polo Gutierrez.
6-2.
If Alex Cardona can win here today, then he will be the WRT player with the most championship titles, rounding it out at 10. Nikolai gonna go ahead and call a timeout, see if he can break Cardona's rhythm. We'll be back with more of the WRT Live right after this. And we're back with the World Racquetball Tour live from the Alamo City Open at the Thousand Oaks YMCA. Alex Cardona in the lead over Nikolai Miramontes. This is our last quarterfinal of the day. The winner will face Jaime Martel in the second semifinal match tonight at 6 p.m. The first semifinal features David Bobby Horn and Alex Landa at 5 p.m. Nikolai Miramontes all over the floor. Cardona completely in control in game one. Double fault for Nikolai Miramontes. Puts Cardona back in the service box. Last time he was there with a 9-point run. Alex Cardona looking really strong in game one against Miramontes. Miramontes really frustrated. It'll be interesting to see what he can do to switch it up against Alex Cardona. Cardona is such a strong player and really dominating in the second half of the 2015 season. Short serve. Another point, 12-2 now in game one. Great down the line for Nikolai. Gives him a point. Nice soft hands from Nico for the side out. All right, looks like Miramontes finding some things that work now against Cardona. Nice get from Miramontes. He just does an incredible job of diving and getting right back up again in rallies. Sneaking that one just past Cardona for a 7th point. Nikolai Miramontes holding on in game 2, making a bit of a comeback. Couple points in a row, a good time for Alex Cardona to call a timeout. We'll be back with more of the WRT Live right after this. And we're back live with the WRT from the Alamo City Open, where Alex Cardona and Nikolai Miramontes are going head-to-head right now. Miramontes with a couple points in a row, forcing Alex Cardona to take a timeout, see if he can break Miramontes' rhythm here. It's 8 serving 12. Don't forget, fans, you can vote for the WRT Player Awards all day today only by going to bit.ly/WRT vote. We'll be announcing the winners tomorrow on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages, so make sure you vote and check back tomorrow and see who won. They're going to replay. There's the side out for Alex Cardona. Skip for Miramontes, giving Cardona another point. Rollout for Alex Cardona. Nikolai seeing if he could fake out the ref and get up there in the service box. This makes it game point for Alex Cardona now. It's going to be a replay as Cardona is planted right in front of Nikolai. And a side out for Nikolai Miramontes. Score is 12-14. Nikolai Miramontes really putting the pressure on Alex Cardona. Disconnected. Resend the signal. Disconnected. Resend the signal. Cardona putting the ball away. Ref saying that was all good. That's going to end game one, 15-12 for Alex Cardona over Nikolai Miramontes. You're watching the WRT Live. We'll be back with game two in just a few minutes.
Hey everybody, Anthony with Gearbox. Have you ever wondered when or why you should get your racket restrung? What signs to look for? Well, I'm here to shed some light on those questions. First, we need to talk about the function of a good string bed. The main purpose of the string is to stretch upon the impact of the ball, then snap back in a consistent manner. This is called the string's resiliency. Basically, a higher resiliency means you decrease the amount of mishits, and we all could use a little bit of that. Now that we know the function of a good string, we can talk about why you should restring your racket. This will involve three major points: string breakdown, tension, and notching. Number one, string is primarily composed of plastic. Plastic is susceptible to a process called creeping. Creeping is the breakdown over time due to overuse and exposure to UV rays. Inside the string, there is moisture and oils. In the creeping process, those get lost and string becomes dry and brittle. The second focus is on string tension. You might not realize it, but string immediately loses its tension once it's played with. It will relax to a much lower tension after the first game of play. So if you're one of those people that like it tight, you better get your racket restrung regularly. Third, after repeated hitting, string will have an effect called notching. Notching is when the string makes a notch or a groove at the cross point of two strings. When you have these notches in the string does not stretch and snap back efficiently. Lastly, you probably want to know how often you should get your racket restrung. The Gearbox general rule of thumb is to restring your racket the same number of times you play a week. So if you play about 3 times a week, We suggest you restring your racket about 3 times a year. If you have any questions about string, what type to use, different levels of tension, or general questions about our products, feel free to call one of our specialists or shoot us an email and we'll gladly help. That's all for now. Time for me to go restring my racket.
Here we go, game 2 of our last quarterfinal of the day. Alex Cardona winning game 1 15-12 over Nikolai Miramontes, who made quite a comeback in game 1. Ooh, and a nice rollout from Miramontes for the side out. Ooh, nice diving get from Nikolai. Ooh, and a skip from Alex Cardona from back of the court. Nikolai Miramontes taking control in game 2. Pretty frustrating for Alex Cardona, as these errors seem to be beating himself. Nikolai Miramontes calling a timeout. We'll be right back with more from the WRT Live in just a minute. And we're back with the WRT Live from the 2015 San Antonio Alamo City Open, where Alex Cardona is fighting back against Nikolai Miramontes in Game 2. And we're fighting our scoreboard. It's all tied up now, 5-5. Unforced error for Miramontes, giving Cardona the advantage now, 6-5. Ooh, a big skip for Miramontes from back in the court, giving Cardona another point. We're having some trouble with our scoreboard, so we're going to take it out for now, but the score is 7-5. Cardona now regaining dominance. Like these guys are going to take a timeout, and so are we. We'll be right back with more of Game 2 and the WRT Live. we're back with the World Racquetball Tour live in San Antonio, Texas for the Alamo City Open, where Alex Cardona is back in the lead in Game 2 against Nicolai Miramontes. Cardona taking Game 1 15-12 and now leading 9-5 puts him in a good position to potentially send himself to the semifinals. Semifinals will take place later tonight, and the first match has already been set between Alex Landa and Bobby Horn. We also know that the winner of this quarterfinal will face Jaime Martel in the second semifinal at 6 p.m. Cardona now 12-5 in the lead in Game 2. Five serving 13. Side out for Alex Cardona. Oh, ref's gonna call that ball down, which means it's now match point for Alex Cardona. Ooh, and Nicolai Miramontes siding out, holding on in Game 2. Alex Cardona now with his second match point opportunity. Remember, Cardona won in 2014 the Alamo City Open Championship, so he is defending his title here this weekend. Ooh, and Cardona jammed up there against the sidewall. Miramontes siding out again, his second time siding out Cardona on match point. Very similar to the first game. Just when Cardona seems to be in a good position, Nicolai Miramontes starts making his way back and really putting the pressure on Cardona. Let's see if Alex can close out the match right here, his third match point. Ooh, and a double fault.
8-14. 9-14. 10-14.
Ball's down. Let's see if Alex Cardona can answer back right now. He seemed to get too comfortable there at 14 points, and Nikolai Miramontes turned it up. Now this is the fourth match point opportunity for Alex Cardona. Nikolai Miramontes skips it, which means Alex Cardona wins 15-10 in game 2 and will be moving on to the semifinals tonight against Jaime Martel at 6 p.m. Of course, we'd like to thank you all for watching. We couldn't do this without the support of our fans, so thank you for that. Don't forget to come back at 5 p.m. for the semifinals, where we will have David Bobby Horn versus Alex Landa, and then at 6 p.m., Alex Cardona versus Jaime Martel. I'm Laura McCormick with the WRT signing off, and we'll see you tonight at 5.